Hi, again, this is Victor with Norwegian Cruise Line, your personal cruise consultant. And I did want to make a video that kind of goes off script, right? So the videos that you're going to see are going to be heavily scripted so that I make sure I stay on topic. And then at the same time, I'm gonna have so many opinions that I want to share with you about my experience as a cruise consultant, what I've done, what I've heard, what I've seen, what the cruises I've gone on. I really want to be more personable, but in order to make sure that I stay objective and give you all the information as possible, I'm going to have one side of the channel be strictly information, and another side where it's going to be more opinionated, based, free flow videos, not going to be highly edited. My whole goal here is to be as close to as who I am, right? One of the things that I do as a cruise consultant, I make a lot of phone calls. A little bit about the job. We are always making over 150 dials minimum a day, and we are on the phones for anywhere, from like 8 hours, with striving to get at least 5 hours of talk time. There's nothing to be shy about because, you know, if you really wanted to, you could always send your resume and I could forward it to management and try to get you into position as a cruise consultant. It's not, it's a hard job, but at the same time, it's very rewarding when you work with people that want um, their vacations to go as smooth as possible. And I have a strong desire to help people plan their cruises as best as possible. What that means to you is that I'm always going to try to be honest with you. I hate that sometimes when I hear the calls I do, I sound very legalistic, or I'm trying to be very careful. I'm trying to work on that. But the reason is there's a lot of and, ifs, or buts that kind of get into the weeds when it comes down to cruising. And it's not that it's a hard thing to do, right? Cruising is kind of autopilot. You go on a vacation and you kind of get a card and you swipe everywhere you go, right? But then, what are the intricacies? What are the terms and conditions of all the things that Norwegian has, all the rules and stipulations behind it, right? What can you travel with? What do you need? What if you don't have your passport? What is the free at sea? What are the gratuities? Why are there so many gratuities? Why, like, there's so many little bits and pieces. One common question I get is, if the drink package is free, why am I paying gratuities, right? Well, the devil's in the details. There's a lot more going on into it, and quite frankly, I do believe we have the best free at sea promotion. Just ask ChatGPT to just search every single cruise company, and they charge starting at like 60 minimum. Norwegian, really, when it comes down to it, the drink package is about $28 a day. You tell me where you can drink unlimited for $28 and I will be there. I love trying out drinks all the time on a cruise ship. But what I mean to say, this is a video where I'm gonna make it after every scripted post, kind of give you my little insights and little things that were going on in my mind, right? So I'm excited that I got 5 videos in when I thought it was gonna take forever. A lot of the ways I'm doing the videos are through TikTok, and then downloading them and uploading them and changing them. I'm not a videographer. I am not someone who knows anything about camera production or editing. I really am terrible at that. So my whole goal is really to be short videos and try to be as quick as possible to deliver important information to you. And the more you interact with me, the more questions I'll be able to answer on a personal level. That's something that I really take pride in. I like to give you up-to-date information as to what's going on with the company. Sometimes I see a lot of things happening, and things like Cruise with Ben and David, Cruise Fever, Jim Zim. I think there's another uh, page. It's Jason and Heidi's, I think. They're all great channels for seeing the ships and seeing what Norwegian has to offer for all sorts of from the Bliss, the Joy, the Prima, all those videos that kind of show you the workaround. I'm not entirely committed to showing you the ship on this channel, right? What I want to make sure is that I can express all the terms and conditions and all the intricacies that go into cruising. That's why I steered away from ship presentations. Now, I'm more than glad to answer questions about upcoming ships and whenever Norwegian is going to announce them, right? Although I might get some information, I'm not going to risk my job to put out information that's not public, right? So everything I will deliver from the statements that, for instance, golly, I'm forgetting the statements that are official from Norwegian, and when they develop them, I'm willing to make small videos where they're like 30 seconds long of me saying, this is the reactive statement. That's the word, reactive statement of what's going on with Norwegian. I will take videos of when I go on a cruise, right? My whole goal here is not just to be a salesperson. It's not just to gain exposure, but to show that I do have passion. Now, there are amazing cruise consultants at Norwegian. When I tell you there are amazing people that have been with Norwegian for 10 years, they've been doing this job in, out. They can do it while they're on the road, and they truly are fantastic. You know, if you want to join Norwegian, you know, if you're working anywhere around the world, strongly recommend it. Send me your resume at Brenes, Brenes, at ncl.com, and I will forward it to the people that need to. Now, my goal, my personal and professional goal, is to hit 100 reservations on a monthly basis. That is my personal goal. Will I hit it? I will. I will get there. I've done it before. A little bit about me, a little bit more extended. I used to work for Norwegian from 2017 to 2021. Absolutely loved it. I was fully committed. I enjoyed it. I had a passion for it. But then, of course, we all know what happened in 2020, and COVID kind of destroyed the industry. And with Norwegian constantly doing a lot of reactive statements and taking back cruising, and no one knew what was happening, and the government was controlling the ports and all that jazz, I just couldn't do it anymore in 2021. I felt really bad with everything that was going on. I really loved it, but I took some time and told myself I want to join the Army, do something I've always wanted to do in my life since I was 18. And so I joined at 31. I joined at 30, and then I went over to trading, went to Korea for a year, then I arrived at Killeen, where that's my plug, where I stayed here for a year, then went to NCC, and then I went to Poland, and then I came back, did the National Guard for a year, and now I'm back at Norwegian Cruise Line, ready to roll. There's a lot that's changed and a lot that hasn't. A lot of things have stayed the same, although they'll tell you that a lot of things have changed. But there's a lot of moving parts to cruising that sometimes it can be overwhelming on a call. But please feel free to ask me the questions. Feel free to give me a call. And I say feel free a lot because that used to be our tagline, Norwegian Cruise Lines, feel free, right? Feel free to go on a vacation, to go cruising. And so it's just, you'll see a lot of the old videos by Norwegian. They say feel free a lot. And I just got in the habit of feel free. So anyways, with that said, I look forward to whatever this YouTube channel has to offer. I look forward to answering all questions related to Norwegian. I look forward to bringing the passion I used to have into the YouTube space. In fact, a couple of years ago, right when I was getting really, really good at 2018, 2019, I was making YouTube videos going over Latitude programs, going over how to log into your NCL, where, how to use the website, you know, all these questions that people have. And my whole goal was just simply provide information. Hopefully, the goal is that if you value the information I shared with you, give me a call to book your reservation. I'd greatly appreciate it. Truly, truly, truly appreciate your business. If you're working with a cruise consultant, keep working with your cruise consultant. If you're working with a travel agent, keep working with your travel agent. What I do want is to help people that don't have a cruise consultant. It's their first time cruising, or they're kind of lost in the sauce because their cruise consultants have gone. They don't know who to call. So my goal is to reach out to you. Please give me a call. Let me be your cruise consultant. Let me bring that passion I have for helping people book their vacation to your life, and make sure that I can take away all the weight of stress, planning, out the window, and make sure that you are perfectly excited to go on your next European cruise, Alaskan cruise, Bermuda cruise. You know, the next place in my bucket list is really Europe. I might be going on the Viva this fall, or winter, leaving out of Galveston. I'm very excited for that. So feel free to give me a call. Phone number is 954-514-4255. That's my direct line. Toll free is going to be 1-877-416-9722, extension 44255. Um, all numbers that I used to have are obsolete, so please just focus on calling me on those. Otherwise, I really am excited. And it is 2 a.m. in the morning when I'm filming this because I've constantly said, no, 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 I don't want to do it. But you know what? The internet's a fantastic place, and I would just want to throw the vibes out there and be very much me, and introduce myself to the world. I know, again, the curtain's kind of funky because the sun's not there, but it's a window. Don't stress it. I don't know where I'm going with that window thing, but yeah, I look forward to helping you plan your cruise, and I hope you see it in my excitement um, in this page. And yeah, otherwise, I look forward to your call, and thank you for choosing Norwegian.